TTT THROWDOWN!
This week, our demo athlete is Gustavo.
Throwdown number 279 is a 17-minute AMRAP, 60 cal row for the guys, 50 for the girls, 50 toes to bar, 40 kipping handstand push-up, 30 dumbbell box step-ups, 20 chest to bars, 10 double dumbbell clean and jerks.
We announce a new Throwdown right here on YouTube every Thursday at 1 p.m.
Join our entire community to practice the skill of competing.
Use the next 2 days to plan a strategy, grab some friends, and throw down on Saturday.
Oh, Jordan Adcock with a
what a
false
start. What was that?
Well, yeah, she's, just trying to cheat. Trying to cheat over there.
All right, good start here, guys.
Yeah. Nah, it was good.
We actually don't know who our demo is. Chris is picking him right now.
No, they already know.
Oh, man.
Yeah, they
never
already
mind.
watched the intro.
I will admit it's a fun workout. I love any sort of chipper style. I think we also had a large group. I think there was 18 of us on site. So this was just a lot of fun getting everybody together and throwing down on this one.
This is an interesting format to start a chipper with rowing because generally speaking, when you do a qualifier type workout, you're ready, you're fresh.
Oh! We got a guest
The
appearance!
bus.
That actually really scared me.
Yeah,
Max
honestly, I was like,
really-
Are we
Max
starting over or are we just going?
Max was boring me, so
yeah.
good timing, Gus.
Yeah. All right, anyways, I had boring thoughts to say about pacing, and now I know, yeah.
Gus
yeah.
arrived.
Yeah, Gus is actually
bus.
our demo athlete and is going to be a guest appearance, and he surprised us in the middle of this, and now he's here. So if you hear him, it's Gus.
Hola.
Gus, how fast were you rowing here? First row. Do you remember?
1200.
Was that your game plan?
Yes.
Travis, what were you rowing
1750.
Little different.
And that was kind of my game plan. I
Did
mean,
you
I
do
always
this
like to
again?
make more aggressive
No, I was out of town.
row
okay.
paces from the beginning.
What do you think for all of our lady viewers they would be rowing on this for 50 cows?
So I would probably start around 1100 and let it taper off towards the back half of the row. Maybe drop into the thousands and probably try to not go lower than the thousands. I'm tall, so that might be different for the shorter population out there. But I would say you can definitely go too slow on this first row, and you can definitely go too fast. So you got to Goldilocks it.
World
Was that
class
helpful?
advice. Well, you could be too
sometimes-
big or too small.
Sometimes we say you're not gonna win it on the row, but you can lose it. I feel like for this long of calories to start, you can definitely bank some time. It's
Yeah.
definitely
But you can also, to your point, you can still dig yourself in a hole.
right. So you guys, that's the
On
exact
this.
same thing I just said.
You did just repeat her useless
Yeah, but
information.
she said it in an interesting way.
Yeah. The structure of this, though, following with 50 toes to bar, 40 kipping handstand push-ups, there is somewhat balance here between big person, small person type movements. Obviously, the best CrossFitters are good at all of the movements in this chipper, but for most people approaching a workout like this, you either are thinking, okay, I'm bigger and I'm going to get crushed a little bit by the gymnastics, so I'm going to push and try to bank a little bit of time here, or I'm just trying to go out relatively smooth so I can transition and do well on the gymnastics. But for most people, it's going to be around 3 minutes, like Gus right here was 3:05 to finish up. So,
Gus,
be
what
prepped
was
for
your
that.
plan for the toes to bar?
To break early and do small sets, but you will see.
Very mysterious?
So the plan changed.
Yeah, as soon as I saw Travis and Matt got out of the rower very early, I was like, okay, I have to take a risk and do more than planned, and you will see.
Yeah, this is
No,
not a
yeah,
small
this is
set
not a
at
small
all.
set.
You're still going.
And
Do you know
also
how many you can do unbroken, like in a just one unbroken set? Have you ever tested that?
Probably 60.
Okay.
Me too. Me too.
Okay.
6. You could do 6. Max could do 6 of those.
60 divided by 10.
The other thing is that I have to put something under me because I was not tall rack. So I was thinking if I have to jump so high every single time I go down, I might get tired. So less sets.
Yeah.
But
Saving
no,
the
ideally.
jump.
Not
Bigger
ideally.
sets to save the jump.
How many
I
did you
like
do
it.
there? Do you remember?
30.
30.
You opened to 30. Wow.
Ooh, that's big. And then 5 here?
Then,
Here's
So
our
was
small
that a
set.
No, then I thought about my grip, and then okay, maybe 5 with a shorter break, and I'll be fine.
They still look really good. I mean, obviously, this is a skill for Gus. If you can do 60 toes to bar unbroken and just the positions are really solid. So I would probably advise most of you watching not to open with 30. But if you have the skill and you can do it like this and not impact the rest of the workout, then flex where you're good and, make up time.
Yeah, I
where
think
you
if you're opening big like that and still maintaining that short of a rest break, even between 5s, I think that's perfectly fine.
Agreed.
But we'll see how the rest of the workout goes.
And also find a shorter bar.
Yeah.
I actually had to jump high to get there. It's
You
not-
did honestly pick the highest bar, one of the highest bars we have in the gym. So
Yeah, no,
that I mean, I want to talk about kipping handstand push-ups because that's what he's doing. However, that's an important point, is that if you're getting ready for a qualifier, appropriate bar height is actually super important. When they did that burpee chest to bar workout with the shuttle runs in the open previous years, people used just like a bar that was 6 inches higher and redid it on a shorter bar and made up a huge amount of time. So
we also,
it
I
does
remember,
make
adjusted
a difference.
a ton of bars
Yeah.
inside the gym when certain people would go, just so they wouldn't have to deal with jumping that much higher to be able to save that.
So that was a set of 20 followed by 5, right? Is that correct?
oh, I didn't see it. Sorry.
What do you
Well,
mean
but
you
you
did it,
did.
man? You don't remember? Your hands remember. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I counted 20.
I'm sorry.
And then
Yeah.
I think it's, I guess, similar to how you did the toast bar, a bigger set, and then just chip away at 5s. It seems to work really well for you.
Yeah, your movement speed here is just really solid as well. I think being able to just maintain quick up and down, and then get off the wall is better than what a lot of people do here. Is they get gassed and then they'll either rest on their head or rest
That's
at
me.
the top.
That's,
And they
I
get
did a
long rest
synchro
breaks.
workout with Gus today. He had to wait for me to rest on my head.
got crushed.
Yeah, see, for me on the other side, so when I did this, I went 20, 10, 10, 10 on the toe to bar, because for me, the toe to bar was just going to be harder at the dense sets at the end. And then Gilpin passed me at that part. And so then I was like, all right, well, now I'm going to do a bigger set. And on the handstands, went 30, 10 and caught up and made up a bunch of ground. So I think if you can kind of know where you can push, for me, doing handstands is going to be a much smoother portion than the toe to bar.
Also, shout out here to your rep quality. 'Cause I feel like
Good,
last
crisp
year
reps.
people got crushed with these step ups, not standing up. I feel like were you
Wow,
one of
wait,
them?
wait, I wasn't going to say anything.
All right. Well, not just people got crushed by this, but Gus got crushed by this.
Do you think this movement will come back out?
I don't.
I hope not.
Because
Man,
I feel like they might just do it like, you know what?
in
Just because
spite.
you, yeah.
That is the Castro model, but I hope not.
I hope not. I mean, just make it a step
That was
over.
a-
Just
Yeah.
I hope
save
they
the
do.
question, and you hope they do.
Yeah,
You want
revenge.
Yeah, you've been
revenge.
practicing
Yeah.
that
I mean, they
technique.
look excellent.
Yeah. This is actually, too, an area of the workout where it's only 30 reps, but there can be a lot of separation here. If you are somebody that's taller or has really good strength endurance and grip endurance, you can separate by doing like 10, 10, 10 with a quick break here. I know that'd be a lot of work, but it would. Well, how did you break these up, Trav?
15, 8, 7 maybe.
Yeah, so
but
3
I also
sets.
kind of have like the same position that Allison does at the end. I kind of do more of a swing with the dumbbells, where like Gus is kind of more like static with holding them. So I try to swing them and almost use the momentum a little bit more to really like push myself forward as I stand up. But yeah, I think, or it might have been 2 sets. I don't really
Yeah.
remember.
Well, 2 or 3 versus you did 5s the whole way, Gus. Count that right? Yeah. So basically, you're saving either 3 or 4 total breaks. If they're 5 to 10 seconds, I mean that could be 30 or 40 seconds of total time just embedded just in these 30 reps. So be mindful of that. In this workout, there's a lot of stuff that's like built for big people and some stuff built for littler people. So if you are somebody big and you get to this part in the workout and you kind of got smashed on the toes to bar handstand push-ups, you can make up
Well,
some
someone
time.
got you a
there.
riser.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I got
Yeah,
a
did
riser,
that.
even though I
Nice.
had to jump a lot.
Was grip a factor at all?
It doesn't
Not
look
only
like
when I
it.
got, well, I'm not gonna say
Not
it.
gonna
At that
spoil,
moment,
yeah.
it wasn't a factor. Because I think 5 on the step-ups helped me not to fatigue my grip a lot.
Yeah, 20 chest to bars in this workout is not really a big separator, especially at the more elite levels. You did that unbroken, right?
Yep.
And I think a lot of people would. Did you do it unbroken?
Yeah, no, I just went, but I think I did the bigger set on the
On the step up.
Step up, so it kind of fatigued the grip a little bit more. But I just hopped up into 12, dropped straight back up into 8.
But still, it's only a couple seconds. It's not a lot of separation that people are getting on chest to bars in this workout, I don't think.
No,
unless you blow your grip up going into them.
And then you got to do like singles or something like that. Ooh, I didn't really think about it, but there's a lot of grippy stuff in this workout. Row, toes to bar, handstand push-ups sometimes can still tax your grip, step-ups, chest to bar, and pretty much every movement is grippy.
Yeah.
Is this
but
grip limited?
I didn't feel like it was. I felt like this was more like sickness limited from coming into this. But the toe to bar for me getting that break from the toe to bar into the handstand allowed my grip to like kind of fully recover to go back into the step ups of like holding on. And I feel like kind of how Mia always talks about like you can have a quick break movements, and to me like being able to just set the dumbbells on the box for like half a second or 2 seconds by just like still holding it right there, but like don't let go and then go back into it, I think is a easy one to work on.
Those clean and jerks would also classify as a good quick break movement because you can put them on the ground and stay bent over, basically just releasing your hands and take a break and not really lose a lot of time.
Yeah, that movement too is just challenging on the posterior chain. When the dumbbells got to touch the ground, you go way lower into a hinge than you normally would with a barbell, and then you're going back onto the rower. So it could be something that even if you don't need, maybe you put in a little break there just to give your posterior chain a break, because the biggest separation probably is the 60 cals row.
Yeah.
Would you say on both?
Yeah.
Especially if you're going through 2 rounds, it's a 120 or 100
this
total
second
cals.
row is important.
Yeah. So make sure that whatever you're doing in that clean and jerk set is not just about saving time for the 10 reps, but also saving energy to put here where it counts more.
Yeah. And I think even looking at this, like if this was an open workout, getting your pace up to what you are trying to row at quickly, like in 2 to 4 pulls, like you should already be there, where it's very easy in a format like this where you're like, oh, it's 17 minutes, I got a long time, and you take 30 seconds to get up to your like working pace. I mean, the first one, I think I was around 1700 probably for like the average, and then I went to 1350 to 1450 for the entire second one. But that like first 20 seconds is like you feel like you're dying, like starting to like row fast, versus like if I just throw it like 900 for a minute and like recover, it's just being able to get that pace up.
This just showed your monitor. I'm guessing it won't show it again before the end of it. Did you keep that like 1050-ish pace the whole time for the second row?
Maybe at the end I went to 1100, but it was
pretty close.
okay.
Yeah, so 1250 to start and 1050 in the second round. And then Travis was 1750 down to 1450. That probably like 200 or 300 cals per hour is probably what people should expect as a drop off from set to set. Maybe a little bit less if you can't push the pace in all the other movements and you're trying to like hold pace. Do you think you try to hold pace on your row, Mia?
No, I think it would fall off. I'd probably try to keep it within about 100 cals.
Yeah. Yeah. And here's Travis Mayer, speak of the devil.
Hey, I know him.
With his orange shoes. Are those orange or yellow?
You know, they're the Timberland color. I don't know, whatever you want to call it. Timberland. It's like
color?
a brown, right? You know,
I know that's a
I think
brand.
so.
brown, yellow. but they have a staple
The
for
good
their
old
colored
Tims.
shoe.
CTP didn't want to just watch Gus row. He thought it was not fast enough to be
Come
on
over
the
here and
video.
show the pasty warrior, baby. There he is.
But if it's 3 minutes at the original pace on the rower for 1250, you're looking at like, I don't know, 330 plus on the second row. So if you just add up that time, you're basically on the rower for a third of the overall workout. So this is a very heavily row influence workout. So prep your mind for that. It's also a good thing to be prepped for. It's one of the most common movements that comes out in all online qualifiers because most gyms actually have like tons of rowers. So a good one to do to prep yourself for all qualifiers.
What were you doing on the toast bar, Trav?
Small sets from there. I didn't try to do anything big. I think I went 10, 10, 10, and then like 6, 4, 5, 3, 2. Like towards the end, it just started to definitely break down a lot.
I mean, that's 100 toast bar accumulated, so
Yeah.
math.
I didn't
can
even
add.
think about that, but 50 times 2. Very good. Not only
Way
can
to
you
go,
add,
Mia.
Man,
you
my
use the
coaching and my math
multiplication.
is on point today.
All right, so 14 minutes off the second row or the second round row and then into the toes to bar. It's a 17-minute AMRAP. You got 3 minutes left. Are you thinking about like a push here, or are you just in kind of survival mode?
I was thinking to finish the toaster bar and go to the keeping handstand push-up.
Okay.
And yeah, that was my goal.
Nice.
And trying to not to go to full fatigue for my grip, because I knew if that happened, it will be singles. And it will be more like a jump single.
Yeah.
Big jump and a single.
Yeah, you'd have to be on a
max
smaller
effort
bar
part.
to do that. Yeah.
What kind of fatigue were you feeling at this point?
It was more a grip fatigue for sure.
Yeah. You look like you're not, I mean, obviously you could tell you're working, you're sweating and stuff, but it doesn't look like you're super out of breath. It looks more like you look pretty in control at this point. Were you like breathing hard at this point, or just all muscles in the grip?
No, everything.
Okay. Yeah, you're just covering it up well.
Yeah.
Everything hurts.
Maybe more muscular, but yeah, I was breathing heavy too.
Cool.
Yeah, but it definitely is.
You
a
could
lot
see
of, it was a
Kyle
lot
Root
of grip.
suffering to
Yeah.
the left more than
And Lee's on the road. Does not look
Oh,
happy
yeah,
right
that's
now.
true.
I think he's just more expressive.
Yeah, that's
And
true.
my heart rate was close to 200 too, so it was.
Was
Oh.
it?
Yeah,
Do
was
you-
it.
Do you know
have a
when
heart-
it hit to that point?
It got to 190 when I finished the clean and jerks, so I was like, oh, we have 8 minutes left and I'm already at 190. Oh no. So.
Oh, you have it on your wrist. I was like, what?
Yeah, I
like,
was wondering that.
Where are you tracking it?
Yeah. So sorry, I wasn't counting at all for these 50 toes to bar. What were the sets like in this one? In the first one you did 30 and 5s, and
I
then
did, if I remember, I did 11, and then I think it did 5, 4, 4, 4.
yeah.
Oh,
Three
big
smaller
jumps
All
in
the
there.
random sets.
So
You do have a big jump to get up to that bar. I'm surprised you didn't switch with Ruth.
Yeah,
To
Ruth has
make him do it.
Ruth is taller than me, and he got a
Smaller
shorter
bar.
But it's fine.
Because he's masters. His knees don't allow him to
You
jump
guys are
much
pretty
anymore.
close in the race here too. Where do you know where he is? Is he behind you? Were you aware as you were going on in this?
No, I don't know how many reps I'm ahead, but we are pretty close.
Mike is also suffering. Make sure you note the bottom right-hand corner of your screen and see Mike's suffering
Mike.
face. As I was saying, Gus looks completely fine. Mike is dying on the rower, selling out.
Well,
Let's go.
he's sprinting his row finish.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
that's
Coming
different
up to
than a
15
toes to bar
seconds, yeah.
finish.
Yeah, if you are on the rower, so wow, those
Ooh,
are
full
fast
speed.
handstand push-ups. Very
Nice,
nice
Gus.
finish. I'll wait
Oh.
to give my rowing advice until you're done, so we can get
Oh.
the nice.
What a
finish.
finish,
Very
though.
fast.
Very good, and unbroken as your finish. Very good.
Nice.
Solid
job.
sprint finish.
How many did you get there?
15.
Oh, I thought I counted 16.
Well,
Anyways,
Maybe
I-
16.
Yeah. As you are doing this workout, if you are finishing on the rower, be prepared to have the pain face like Mike did, because you're selling out on the row, and it's like I feel like the metabolic output of that is just way higher than if you're doing toes to bar or handstand push-ups, where you're kind of limited by your muscles. You can sell out and hurt.
Yeah.
So
Anytime you're ending on a machine is never ideal. Like, give me somewhere else. Give me to the handstands.
very good. Well, Gustavo,
Gus.
thank you for
Thanks for
demoing.
joining
thank you
us,
for being
Gus.
a surprise guest.
gracias.
To
Good
be honest,
luck
you
on
did
this.
surprise me when you came in. I was like,
Yeah.
who's opening the door?
I was like, damn, we got to start over.
But it was planned.
How was it?
It was good. Really grippy and like abby. Even when you got on the roller, you can still feel your abs. That might have been me going 30 unbroken to start though. He was fast. Somebody said,
How was it?
I'm gonna throw up some waffles. It's pretty good though, I guess.
Hey, man.
How was it?
It was good. It was kind of like the first one, like hard, like with a group since Miami and get sick and stuff. And I definitely felt the effects of the higher rep, like toe to bar into the handstand. But a lot of grip, a lot of just like how fit are you and can you hang on. So I like those kinds of workouts. So I'd say it was a good one.
I went into that one, I was like, just push the first row and see what happens, because in that I would probably, like in that setup, I would sit below 1,000 calories an hour.
Yeah, you're real fast the first one.
Yeah, and I was like sitting around like 11:50, but it didn't pay off. I mean, it did, but it didn't.
Yeah.
Like I was quicker in the first round, but the second round, you just took over on the row.
Yeah, but would it have been different if you had, like, would you just not have been where you were?
Yeah.
Hard to say.
Yeah. I think if I rode slower, everything else would have still been the same.
Yeah.
You know.
But I think it was smart.
Yeah.
I feel like if it would have been one more minute, it would have been like a really tight handstand push-up race because you were making up so much time on me there. That was fun though. I can see you.
That to me felt so easy. To me, it felt really easy.
How was it?
So much fun. This was my introduction back to group sessions.
What did I say? Go below 1,000?
17 minutes of